I experience Catholics in Hong Kong as very devout because they've made this choice to be a Catholic, and it is to be something different. And their faith they value quite a bit. It means a lot to them, and it's not just for social reasons. And so for that reason, they tend to be very active and committed. I'm at St. Margaret's Church, where I attend to the English language community. So this is primarily, as I mentioned, a Cantonese-speaking parish. So, for instance, on Sundays here at the St. Margaret's Church, there are 5 masses in Cantonese and 1 in English. We're a quite diverse parish in one sense, because between our main church here, Christ the King Chapel, and a small chapel on the first floor of our parish center, every Sunday we have masses in Cantonese, English, Indonesian, Japanese, 1 Spanish Mass, and we instituted for the first time a daily Mass here on Thursday mornings at St. Margaret's Church, which before always was only Cantonese. I am absolutely impressed by how many adults have become Catholics here in Hong Kong. Who, when they tell their story of becoming Catholics, it wasn't that they were born and raised in the faith as I had been, but as adults, they made the choice to become a Catholic. Just this year, our parish alone we baptized about 150 at our Easter Vigil. And before the pandemic, it used to be even significantly higher than that each year here at St. Margaret's. There are many devout and dedicated people. The church is growing in Hong Kong in that sense. It certainly has a presence bigger than its numbers. I would guess about 5% of Hong Kongers are Catholic. And yet I've not been in a city that has more Catholic schools than Hong Kong. And some, not all, did not necessarily become a Catholic while they were at the school, but as adults later in life, when they're reflecting on themselves and families and meaning and at what time can be sometimes seen as uncertain times, it has led them to something deeper and into becoming part of the church.
Let us pray to the Lord.
You shall love your neighbor as yourself. An adult who wants to become a Catholic, Hong Kong is what I would call a little strict in that the process is really about a year and a half. There are many options in Cantonese. In fact, we started up 10 groups in Cantonese. In English, when I got here, there had been classes. There weren't a class at that moment. So I started one up right away in English. And then the following year, that kind of moves into year 2, I started up another new year 1. So there'd always be one group, for baptism each year. Now, we talked about it last week. Confession, reconciliation, right? Sacrament of healing, that's like spiritual healing. It's On the first day, I asked them why they're there. And the stories are different. And that in itself, I thought was quite an eye-opener for me. For some, is that they have a spouse who is a Catholic, and they weren't, but their spouse was, and they decided they wanted to become a Catholic. The sacrament is primarily for the salvation of the person who is ill. So it will save the sick person, and the Lord will raise him up. And I'm honest, sometimes they ask questions, and I'll be frank, you just don't have the answer for, because they can be very deep questions. And sometimes it's good to say that, or just to offer an opinion, but not to pretend that I have all the answers. All 3 oils that are used in sacraments. I came to Hong Kong only 2 years ago. So I came long after the transition back from the British to China, and even after the pandemic. When I got here, there were still some restrictions in place, but after about 5 months or so, all of them were eventually lifted. So I don't carry anything from before. I accept Hong Kong as it is today, here and now. And in many ways, I find that a blessing. because I'm not comparing it with any other version of Hong Kong. And so I find a very vibrant city. I find a very international city. I find a place where a lot of people have hope, positive sense towards the future. A lot of families, young families with children who, are raising them here, very concerned for the well-being of their children. I went hiking about 2 weeks ago to this one trail where I hadn't been, near a water reservoir, and there are wild monkeys right in the middle of Hong Kong, right there out in the trees. It really was, in a way, a little bit magical to be in such a big city.